Three.
3.
So, Peter,
Yes,
we're looking at a black screen here.
we're
and
looking at a black screen.
Now we're looking at the Amiga operating system booting up.
Yeah.
And here is ReadySoft Presents. Now, this wasn't your first go?
No.
No. Okay, so.
It was like my 600th go. Should have used another number.
And you never made it past the first screen.
I've never made it past the first screen, and actually I talked to you and I was like, dude, we have to configure the Amiga emulator because nothing happens. And then you just laughed at me and told me that this is my fault. I'm pretty happy here because I figured out how to get past the lady, and it'll take me another 500 attempts to get through those weird snakes there. And I'm really happy I didn't have to put in a quarter for every time I lose. Because, I mean, look at that. It starts, you die. It's like you don't even have a second. I mean, I may have took a breath in between this, and so I wasn't able to react to that. The upside is I got way better at beating the lady.
That's true. That's true. Now, okay, so a little bit of background on this.
Yes.
This is Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp. So the original Dragon's Lair comes out, I want to say 82, 83, and it was a Laserdisc game. So it was basically just a short animated film on Laserdisc, and predecessor to DVD, and it had a little computer controller that if you did not push the joystick in the right direction at the right moment, it jumped to a death animation track on the DVD, on the Laserdisc. And if you did it, it would just keep playing the Laserdisc. Okay? So obviously very limited gameplay. And in the arcades, this was one of the first arcade games that basically was always at 50 cents.
50 cents. I mean, can you imagine that? 50 cents for like 3 lives?
3 lives.
Cool. So for 10 seconds. Awesome.
Yeah, and just to give you an idea of how little computer tech was involved with this, because Laserdisc is completely analog, the score counter was actually a little digital display separate from the screen.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you can actually just last year they released a replica of the arcade cabinet, a tiny little one that you can put on your desk and stuff, and it actually has little LEDs for the lives and stuff. It's one of those things where if our Patreon patrons want to really donate money to buy me one, I'd love that. But the original Dragon's Lair was a phenomenon. Even got a Saturday morning cartoon and stuff. Absolutely cult classic. It's what got me into video games. I did not care about games as a kid until I saw that.
Okay.
And this game didn't come.
Okay.
This game didn't actually hit the arcades until 91. And but it took 3 years to make this sequel cartoon. And it actually hit home computers before it hit the arcades. Because they only decided to finally release it because I think the home versions were so successful. Yeah.
Not bad. You know what? I just want to mention it's really cool that we can talk about that and don't have to narrate what happens on the screen because the same thing just happens over and over again. I just want to say I'm slowly getting onto something and getting onto figuring out how this works, how to get through this bridge and actually into the castle. So you should be looking forward to that.
That's finally coming. We're going to see something other than the same 2 scenes of the mother-in-law attacking you and that. Yeah.
And for all the people watching, it's not a bug. I am just not able to get through the bridge. I'm really trying. Because it's not only that you have to figure out which key to press, which button to press. No. It has to be in the exact right moment, as you mentioned before. And that is actually kind of annoying.
Yeah.
That was 2. the element of surprise of the scene starting and you dying immediately because you have to push the button right after the scene starts. It's like
Well, it's not
surprise
only
to that.
that.
Mhm.
Oh, I think you actually made it a little bit further right there. You got
Yes,
the
because now
first
I
of
figured
two
out
actions.
that there's the lady coming when I look back. For some reason, I have to look back, so the snake stop because it's me looking back making the snake stop and not the lady coming.
Oh, that's
Um,
so
People
stupid.
tend to say that games like Dark Souls are actually difficult games. They are, they clearly don't know what they're talking about.
Well,
This,
the best, you also have to remember, this is actually running off of an unofficial
there we
hard
go.
drive
There we go.
installation.
I almost figured it out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is running off of an unofficial hard drive installation. Back in the day, we were playing this off of floppy disks.
Oh Lord.
So there was also a load time factor.
Made it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, and
Thank
now
you.
comes the best one. Yeah.
Dude, I have no idea. You know, I was so happy being in the castle and I was like, of course. Of course.
Did you try the fire button?
Occasionally, but it never worked, so I gave up on that. So, but I should have tried it, is what you're saying.
I honestly cannot remember. I haven't tried to play this version of the game in probably 30 years. And I was never that good at it to begin with, but the version I had back in the day had a cheat mode, so you can just watch the whole thing as a movie. And that's basically what I ended up doing like 20 times.
Say, can you gain lives or are they just running out?
They just run out. The one
Okay.
additional thing that they added in this game is
Mhm.
that in addition to just surviving, there are moments when you can pick up treasures,
Yes.
and those treasure items can then they do something at the end or unlock a slightly different ending or something. So
Ah, okay.
those are additional moves that you can do to along the way. But
Mhm.
other than that, it's very linear. It's always the same thing. Now,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't remember if Time Warp was this way. I know the original Dragon's Lair had this thing where it would play some of the scenes out of order, so you never knew 100% what order the scenes were
Wonderful.
coming in. Yeah, and, and the Amiga version is also much shorter than the arcade. They released another game after this that picked up a bunch of scenes that they had to leave out of Time Warp and put into that. So
Okay. So how many scenes are there, or how long is this game if you don't like die every second?
it's not more than 10 minutes of video.
Okay.
I mean, maybe 12 minutes of video in total.
Okay.
Now, the original arcade game, I want to say, is more like 20 minutes,
Mhm.
25 minutes. And of course, it's actual movie quality, but
Mhm.
uh, this is running on an Amiga, so.
But it looked pretty good. I mean, I was surprised. I was not expecting this graphic quality. Was
Yeah,
nice, like a
no,
little
it's,
cartoon.
I mean, this is also why they made so many of these. They made a lot of these games back in the day. But you know what? We're going to talk about that back on the episode. So,
Yeah.
okay.